Welcome to the Nanuet Chamber of Commerce show. I'm Risa Hogue, and I'm president of the Greater Nanuet Chamber of Commerce. And we're here today with Jenna Mega, the owner of Luxury Kitchen and Bath on Main Street in Nanuet. And we're going to learn more about Jenna's business today. Hi, Jenna.
Hey, Risa.
I'm good. So tell us about how you started your storefront, which is on Main Street in Nanuet, right?
Yes, so we're right on 129 Main Street in Nanuet, across from the Nanuet Hotel and Bar. We opened up about 5 years ago. My father's been a contractor in the area about 20 years now. And when I got out of school, he asked me to come work with him. I originally started in the contracting business, and I was doing his bookkeeping, and I kind of got a sense of what the industry was like, even though I kind of grew up in it the whole, my entire life. And now, after I went to college, I went for art and engineering. So that background helped me with his background with the contracting industry, and then I apprenticed under somebody that was in this industry for 30 years. So I got kind of that immersion of contracting, art, engineering, and that old school apprenticeship where I got a hands-on opportunity from somebody that was in the industry for 30 years.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Now, you were a chef though too, right? Or didn't you?
Yes, I actually, my first job was right at Lake Nanuet. I used to manage a snack bar there. Then after that, I used to cater weddings, and then I was a chef at Brooks Barbecue in Oneonta. So
So you had a real experience in the kitchen, literally knowing where things should be and that kind of thing.
yes, so when I'm cooking or I'm designing a kitchen, I know I want my spices right next to my range. I know when I'm cleaning up, I want a garbage sink dishwasher so I can scrape, rinse, wash. So when people are cleaning up or when they're cooking, they're able to save time and have optimal functionality.
Great. Okay. So tell us about your clients. Who is your main client?
So my main client are either residential homeowners that are looking to remodel, or a lot of people that have been coming to me lately are builders. A lot of builders need cabinetry, they've gone to big box stores, and they don't really get that same touch that I have. I really go into the site, I measure, I make sure I know where the gas line is, where the sink line is, where the windows are, and when I'm going back to make sure that everything's all set, I like to measure twice, order once.
Good rule of thumb.
Yes, it's very helpful in this industry. So I tape out the floor, and I make sure that everything that I do on the computer is set and works into the space. And then that also gives the homeowner or the builder a sense of where everything's going to be laid out, how an island is going to sit, how that's going to affect the room, and how you're going to function in the room. So going out there and taking that extra step, I just saved a builder quite a headache that we measured one unit because they were supposed to be all the same. And then when we went down to ordering, I said, well, let me go up there and measure again, but I want to measure all the units. And I'm really glad I did, because all the sink centers were different. Some of them were 6 inches off, some of them were 30 inches off, and now instead of ordering over on cabinets, now everything's going to be correct, and it's going to be the way that we need it to be, and he saved all of this headache and nightmare. So.
Wow. So you're really hands-on. So that would be, I mean, the advantage of working with you is the understanding that you bring, having grown up in the industry and worked as a chef, but also that you come in and do all that measuring and everything yourself.
Yes. So that is, again, another thing that sets me apart. A lot of people would say, oh, here's a floor plan, can you base off this? Even if they do that for me, I want to go out to the site anyway. I get a sense of how your home is going to be affected with this kitchen. So if a wall's getting taken out, or if we're putting the range in a certain area, I want to see how that's going to help you flow in your house. If you're going to be able to now serve easier to go outside, or if closing up a window or opening up a window is going to give you a better sink line or a better view somewhere else, so that you can look outside the window and you can have a centered sink in that space instead of having no window, you're staring at a wall. I hate staring at a wall.
So you're really working consultatively as well. So it's not just, okay, come in and pick a cabinet. You're going through the process with them to understand the kitchen.
Yes.
And understand their needs within the kitchen.
That's my main priority. I want you to know exactly what you're going to get before you can say yes to anything. I really want to go out there. I try to make sure I get what you want. I tell you my ideas and what my opinions are, and I work within your budget. And that's another key factor of how I work, is that I don't force you to spend X amount of money. I have you go with whatever you're comfortable with. I don't want people to expand themselves more than what it is, and you go, oh, I let this girl talk me into this amount of money. No, it's your budget, it's your home. You're gonna wake up every day and you're gonna have to see this kitchen. You're gonna have a cup of coffee at your island, and you're gonna look outside the window when you're at your sink. So every time you have those little decisions, you know that they're yours.
Right.
And it's authentic to you, and I really try to push that.
And so, and then there's different options, right? So with regard to budget, you know, as you well know, kitchens, budgets can be, unlimited if you were to just say, do everything. But so how do you, or people can come here and see the different options, right? Of
Yes.
What's available.
So like if people want to remove a wall, that's typically a pretty big expense, more on the labor side than it is on the cabinetry side. Because if you have to support a wall, that can get costly. Sometimes we can use beams instead, sometimes we do a non-supporting wall, or if your budget allows it, we take down the wall. We've taken down 3 walls, we've opened up a high ramp so that you have a full open space.
Wow.
And that can get costly, but if the budget is there and that's what you want, we vault ceilings, we do skylights, we do hi-hats, the contracting side.
Right.
And then I help you design and sometimes see the entire 3 rooms of space. So you'll know again what you're going to get before you get it.
And the options as far as what people can get in cabinetry. If you haven't done a kitchen in a while, you may not realize all of the options, right?
Yes.
You can change your budget to fit the options or vice versa.
Yes, so with the cabinetry side, if you're doing like a builder's, like a rental or multi-unit, builders typically go for more cost-effective, like the really most cost-effective line, and that's a builder's rate. That is not soft open, soft close. The corner support blocks are plastic, but they're all still solid wood. So unlike most big box stores, they're all still solid wood. Most box stores do like particle board or MDF, which as soon as that gets water, it goes, it swells up.
Right.
So wood is much more durable. And then if you go to normal, average homeowner for residential, would be in a stock line. What's behind us is actually a stock line. Most people think this is my most expensive display, and it's really not. This is a cost-effective cabinet. It's more expensive than the other cost-effective ones, but this is within most people's budget.
Wow, it's beautiful too.
This is a solid birch. It's soft open, soft close. There's dovetail drawers. Everything is well built and crafted. The only part that is ever MDF is when it's a painted door, and the center panel is an MDF because wood expands and contracts, and the MDF does not.
And MDF stands for?
Medium density fiberboard.
Okay.
So that holds in place much better than wood, and when the weather changes, the cracks don't appear on the sides of the drawer heads or the doors.
Living in an old home, I know that well.
Yeah.
We're all wood and everything starts to separate and everything in the cold, so that prevents that from
Yes. So they do
staying
that.
more standard.
Everything from the stock line to the semi-custom to the custom all have that really in the center panel of all painted doors.
Okay.
The next level after the stock line, which is as you see it is as it comes. So if you see the door in the color you like, that's how it is. If it comes in white, it might come in gray. Sometimes it might come in brown. But other than those 3 options in that door style, that's you're limited.
Right.
So that's the disadvantage of stock line. But for the most part, we have quite a few doors that people really like that you can find something, and if you don't, that's when you go into a semi-custom or custom.
Right, okay. And you can also change up the look, I mean the paint obviously, but also the door handles and things like that. So you can get, I mean I think sometimes when people think of stock, they think of like buying it off the rack kind of thing, if you will. But you actually can get creative within that.
Yeah, so that's another one of my specialties is that I take certain stock line cabinets and I make them into custom ones. So even like this display is much more ornate than most displays would be in a regular stock line. If you were worried about, you want an 18-inch cabinet deep, that's not a stop size. Normally it's either 12 or 24, but I can have those cut down to be 18, or I can have it increased to be 18, depending on what we need it for.
Okay, so that comes from, you've gone out, you've measured, you know, all of that.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so, but your sign also says kitchen and bath. So what if I have a bath, again, I'm in an old home, so if I have a strange sized room, or sometimes the bathroom's very small in an old home, and that's something you can work with?
Yes, so a lot of times I do special sizes like 54 inch or 42, things that you don't really find in a store. You can pick any kind of door style that you want, stock line, semi-custom, and then we can build for you exactly whatever you need. So you want 2 sinks, you want 1 sink, you want drawers, the way that they're open, we can modify that for you.
Okay. And are there other spaces that you help with within the house in addition to kitchens and baths?
I've been doing a lot of laundry rooms lately. I did a mud room recently where I modified it so they would have a shoe cubby and then 2 little pantries that would remove the shelf so that they can have hooks on the inside to do a closet. And that's, again, another stock line item that
You're customizing?
I'm customizing.
I love that. I love all those little kitschy areas in the house. So that's great. Okay. And so if I'm coming in and I'm getting my kitchen redone and now I need flooring, is that something that you refer to, or?
I normally sub that out.
Okay.
So with the contracting, labor, countertops, I sub out to local professionals. So I'll have you pick your cabinet here, I'll have you take a door sample and then bring it to the quartz jar. And then if you're doing a flooring sample, you're also going to go to, we have a flooring specialist. We have a plumber, we have an electrician. I know a lot of local people that are handymen that I work with, so if you...
Love the whole local angle. That's
Yes.
great, using all the local contractors.
Yes, and that's part of why I also joined the Nanuet Chamber, was that I wanted to immerse myself in the community. I wanted to meet more local professionals because ultimately that's what's going to help our economy and our whole community as a whole.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I know when we were in here the other day, Jenna was explaining the difference between granite and quartz, which I found fascinating. So if you want to know the difference, you need to come and see Jenna. Is there anything trending right now that people should, like in the kitchen
White
area?
is really
White is
trendy
big,
right now.
I'm dark,
Yes.
but white's really big.
Yes,
Yeah.
TV has really shown me push towards the white open concept kitchen. That's really a big trend right now. Knocking down walls, or at least one of them, so that you can combine the kitchen into the dining room with an open flow.
Yeah, that open space is a big.
Yes.
Okay. And so how can people see you or make an appointment with you or get to have a chat?
So we work best by appointment. If you give a call to the office line, or I even post my cell phone online so that people can get into contact with me directly. You set up an appointment, and I typically like to go to the home first. I do a free consult where I go out to the home, I measure, I get a sense of what you want, and then the next meeting after that is really coming into the showroom, seeing this design as a full 3D. You get a whole walkthrough. It's kind of like on TV where you see it before you even say
Yeah,
yes.
which is great. Everyone loves that.
Yeah, if you pick like the white cabinet, you can see it in the white cabinet on the computer. You could do it like Carrera marble.
Right.
So if you want a new kitchen or a bath, or you're a contractor looking for some cabinets, come see me.
Excellent. And we want to thank you for watching the show, and we want to thank the town of Clarkstown and Supervisor George Homan for giving us the opportunity to have our Nanuet Chamber show. And keep watching. Thanks, Jenna.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right.